So the question paper contains 3 sections. Section A, reading. Section B, writing skills and grammar for you people. Section C, literature, right? And overall, children, for you people, there would be 50 questions, right? And you'll be attempting those 50 questions, but they will be for 40 marks. Okay, the marking scheme will be told to you later on. You can check it on the websites also. So 50 questions at an average, each question will be for 0.8 marks, 0.8 marks. Okay, not exactly for 1 mark. So all the 50 questions will be, you'll have to do all those 50 questions. They'll be compulsory for you. So first, let's see like what kind of reading skills would be there. So first, there is a passage. Then the questions are there. So first, before we read the passage, let's first read the questions. That is how you must adopt this strategy even in exams. So the first question is, the scenic beauty of Srinagar makes the writer feel awestruck, nostalgic, cheerful, or confused. Out of these 4, what would be correct answer as per the passage? Okay. We are not to give our opinion like what's the answer. We'll have to check it from the context, like what the writer says about it. The scenic beauty of Srinagar makes the writer feel awestruck, nostalgic, cheerful, and confused. So out of it, do you know the meaning of all words? Awestruck means very surprised. Nostalgic means when you miss the past. Cheerful, being happy, and confused, you know. Second, a collocation is a group of words that often occur together. So when you go for reading passages, they also help you improve your vocabulary, right? So in the question also, there is something which is coming to help you out. So there is a collocation. I'm doing the questions. I'm reading questions first. A collocation is a group of words that often occur together. The writer says that GB Valley remained clouded in anonymity. So select the word from the options that correctly collocates with clouded in. Okay, so the writer says that GB Valley remained clouded in anonymity. What is anonymity? You will find the contextual answer from there. But if you don't know, anonymity is something which is not about which nobody knows anything. So the writer says that GB Valley remained clouded in anonymity. So you'll have to find out like which word means clouded in: disgust, anger, doubt, or terror. Got it? Select the word that correctly collocates. That correctly collocates means that is the synonym of clouded in. And you'll be finding it from the text. Select the option that suitably completes a given dialogue as per the context in paragraph 2. So in paragraph 2, there is some idea given, and the writer has given us a dialogue. So we will be filling up the option as per the information from paragraph 2, right? So the father says, are you sure that your plan would work? Writer, I can't say. Okay. Father, there is a lot of uncertainty, isn't it? Writer dash, father, please, let's do this. So here was a dialogue between father and we can say child. Father, are you sure that your plan would work? Writer, I can't say. Father, that's a lot of uncertainty, isn't it? Dash, father, please, let's do this. So the options given were that writer says, I can't say that I would be able to deal with the funding. Then writer says for second blank says that well begun is half done, father, let's do it. So do you think well begun is half done applies here? Second option, anything along those lines as the competition is tough. So do you think it will happen? I can't say anything along those lines as the competition is tough. Then he says in the second dialogue, think before you leap, father, please, let's do this. Third option is that because it's a question of profit and loss. I can't say that because it's a question of profit and loss. Then secondly, then he says, all's well that ends well. Okay, somewhat similar to the first option, well begun is half done, or all's well that ends well. So D option is I'm sure. But I can't say that I believe in myself. Nothing venture, nothing win. Nothing venture, nothing means like unless and until you do something, you cannot accomplish it. So out of these four, we have to find out what is the most suitable option. So children, this kind of question is there too, which might have made you realize that when you read something, then you don't have to just pick up the point and give the answer. It's like you have to understand and then only you'll be able to apply the knowledge. It's application based knowledge. Fourth question is, which signboard would the writer have chosen for his 1992 undertaking in GB Valley? So which signboard would the writer have chosen for his 1992 undertaking in GB Valley? Happy stay in GB Valley, guaranteed comfort at this hotel, welcome to GB Valley, welcome to GB's first tourist home. So out of these four, what would be the final choice of the writer? Fifth question is, select the option that clearly indicates the situation before and after 208 in GB Valley. So before 208, picturesque and landscapes. After 208, construction sites and commerce. Of course, before the construction starts off at any hill station, the place happens to be very beautiful, and afterwards there are construction sites and commerce, business. Second option is, before this, zero tourism in the valley, and after septical villages. Then before 208, buildings and hotels. After this, profitable ventures. Before that, scenic surroundings. After that, zero tourism in the valley. So which option would you think would be best? What is the relationship between 1 and 2? Question number 6 is, what is the relationship between 1 and 2? Tourism came to a complete standstill in GB Valley. Tourism has been my greatest teacher. So in this, the relationship is being asked. And A option is, 2 is the cause of 1. Means tourism has been my greatest teacher is the cause of tourism came to complete standstill in GB Valley. Second is, 1 repeats the situation described in 2. C option is, 2 elaborates the problem described in 1. And D is, 1 sets the stage for 2. Right? So you have to see like how the first and second statement of question 6, how they are related to each other. And the 4 options are given and you have to find the suitable one. Then 7th question is, the writer mentions looking for sustainable solutions. He refers to the need for sustainable solutions because he realizes that 4 options are given. Even though all natural ecosystems are essential pillars of resilience, we need to focus on using their resources to address the economic needs of mankind as a priority. Second, the exposure to pandemics are a reality and a big threat to the countries across the world. Third option is, for an economic recovery to be durable and resilient, a return to business as usual and environmentally destructive investment patterns and activities must be avoided. And D is, there is an increasing urgency in the climate movement and the need for collaborative action for the future. Got it? So the writer mentions looking for sustainable solutions. He refers to the need for sustainable solutions because he realizes that. So accordingly, what option will be suitable, keeping in mind what is given in the passage? Select the option that lists the customer review for the writer's project. Select the option that lists the customer's review for the writer's project. So here is the customer's review of the writer's project. Beautiful accommodation in the lap of nature, luxurious cottage with indoor pool and garden. This is the customer might have given the review. Comfortable and peaceful, neat room with ample sunlight, pleasant and warm host. Enjoyed the sprawling suite on the 5th floor, great view, professional service. Remote locale, good food and clean room. Would have loved more natural light though. So what would have been the customer's review according to the passage given? Which quote summarizes the writer's feelings about the pace of growth of tourism in GB Valley? So which quote summarizes his feelings about the pace of growth of tourism? We kill all the caterpillars, then complain there are no butterflies. Name, nature will give you the best example of life lessons. Just open your eyes and see. We do not see nature with our eyes, but with our understanding and our hearts. I would rather be in the mountains thinking of God than in church thinking of the mountains. Wow. So all the four options, quotes are very beautiful, but we have to find out the one which is as per the passage. Okay. And question number 10 is also there. Select the option that lists what we conclude from the text. So overall review of the text. People of GB Valley practiced sustainable tourism. The people of GB Valley gradually embraced tourism. Tourists never revisited GB Valley, or the writer was an enterprising person. So out of these four, which options are correct? 1 and 2 is correct, 2, 3 and 4 are correct, 2 and 4 are correct, 1, 3 and 4 are correct. What? So which options are correct? That is our question. The question is not like which one is correct. The question is out of these four options, which options are correct? Okay. There is just not one conclusion after the text. So whenever we read any text, in the end, there is not just one theme always. Sometimes there are 2 themes, 3 themes, 4 themes. So similarly, the writer has given us 4 themes. And out of these 4 themes, we have to see like which themes are actually there in the passage. Now let's read the passage. That is what you people should do when you do attempt the reading section in your exams. It's not a hard and fast rule, but when you do like this, then 2 things happen. When you would now read the passage, then there would be the points which you would know like, yes, these points I need to answer some question. Otherwise, what will happen if you would have read the passage, then you will read the question, you will come back to the passage again to find the answers. I got posted in Srinagar in the 1980s. Its rugged mountains, gushing rivers and vast meadows reminded me of the landscapes of my native place. Any idea from this line? Its native mountains, gushing rivers, vast meadows reminded me of landscapes of my native place. So when you are reminded of some other place, what is it? Which attitude we call it? It is called nostalgic attitude. So in the very beginning, you had your first question as the scenic beauty of Srinagar makes a writer feel nostalgic. B option is correct. Why B option is correct? Because the writer in the very first line says that the scenic beauty of this place reminded him of the landscape of his own native place. This is nostalgia. Okay. When something or some place or when somebody reminds of something else, we become nostalgic. So the writer got posted in Srinagar in 80s. So it reminded him of the landscape of his own place, the GB Valley in Himachal Pradesh. So what's the native place of the writer? Because throughout we have been reading about GB Valley in the questions. So GB Valley is a place where the narrator or the writer lived. It was his own native place. But he got posted in Srinagar. So Srinagar reminded him of GB Valley in Himachal. So the point is, like, it's not only that Srinagar is beautiful, many other places in Himachal are beautiful, but many of those places, we have got the whole crux of the whole passage in one line. Because we have been able to read all the questions, then the very first line has made us know the whole text. Has anyone been able to know the text? That way then, raise hand. What is the writer in overall passage talking about? Yes? His native place GB Valley. आगे. Okay, so what we come to know, like, because we have read the question, so we have got the idea like what the writer is talking about. So I guess he is talking about the fact like the GB Valley has not, it is no more a very beautiful place now because of the commercialization and all there, right? So the questions may help us understand the text. So the vast meadows reminded me of the landscapes of my native place, the GB Valley in Himachal. Unlike Srinagar that saw numerous tourists, GB Valley remained clouded in anonymity. So what is anonymity? I have told you in the very beginning, what is anonymity? Arshdeep Singh, roll number 7, what is anonymity? Arshdeep Singh, unmute yourself. Divanshi, give the answer. Divanshi, yesterday 3 students were marked absent, though their names were being shown in this attendance chart. But when you don't speak, you will never be marked present. Mind it. Yes,
Ma'am, lack of understanding or individual features.
Okay, yes, correct. Yes, Arshdeep, do you want to speak something?
No, ma'am.
What's the answer of anonymity? What's the meaning of anonymity? When I spoke the answer, did you listen? What are you doing?
Ma'am, there's a little bit of internet connection here.
There is a little bit.
Internet problem.
What problem is there?
Ma'am, sometimes internet is not working properly.
Now, it has become very old excuse. If you are not coming to school, if you are at home, it means that you've got a good sound network. That's why you're not coming to school. Otherwise, come to the class. No network issue will be there. And there is not much crowd in the class. Okay, Gursirat Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What's the meaning of anonymity?
Ma'am, lack of understanding and
Lack of
understanding.
You might have heard the word anonymous, that the poet is anonymous.
Yes, ma'am.
About whom we don't know anything. Something about which you don't know anything. That is anonymous. Sometimes we read
Yes,
poems or the stories and we say, and we come to know that the writer is not known. The writer is anonymous. Anonymous means about whom you don't know. So this GB Valley has been anonymous. It remained clouded in anonymity, means nobody knew about its existence. It was not a very famous place. That's when the seed of starting tourism in GB was planted. So when did he start thinking about making GB a place of tourism? When the writer got posted in Srinagar, and the scenic beauty of Srinagar made him realize that his own GB Valley was equally beautiful and it also should be made a tourist place. I decided to leave my service in the Indian Army and follow the urge to return home. Okay, so what was his profession there? He was there in the army, but he left that post in army and came to GB Valley to make this place a place of tourism. We had 2 houses, a family house and a traditional house, which we often rented out. I pleaded with my father to ask the tenant to vacate the house so that I could convert it into a guest house. When my family finally relented, I renovated the house, keeping its originality intact, just adding windows for sunlight. I still remember the summer of 1992 when I put a signboard outside my first guest house in GB Valley. So this was his first guest house in the whole valley. So there we had a question like what should be the that signboard. So when no one had ever thought about putting up the or creating or having the guest houses in GB Valley because it was not a tourist place so far. So when he made it, he put a signboard. The village residents, however, were skeptical about my success. So they were doubtful. The villagers, they thought like maybe it would not work. This idea would not work. So they had doubt about the success of writer. My business kept growing, but it took years for tourism to take off in GB Valley. So my business kept growing, but it took years for tourism to take off in GB Valley. So though he was able to do good business, but even then it took many years to for GB Valley to have its good tourism. Things changed significantly after 2008 when the government launched a homestay scheme. People built homestays, and with rapid tourism growth, the region changed rapidly. Villages turned into towns with many concrete buildings. Local businesses and tourists continued putting a burden on nature. Then with 2021 pandemic and lockdown, tourism came to a complete standstill in GB Valley. Local people who were employed at over 100 homestays and guest houses returned to their villages. Some went back to farming, some took up pottery, and some got involved in government work schemes. Now all ardently hope that normalcy and tourism will return to the valley soon. In a way, the pandemic has given us an opportunity to introspect, go back to our roots and look for sustainable solutions. So what are the sustainable solutions? So this passage had the idea to that. So when there was lockdown, when the tourism was not working, then people went back to their old work. So they went back to farming, they took up pottery, and they even got involved in some government schemes. So doing farming or going in for pottery and doing the things which are related to your ancient, culture. For me, tourism has been my greatest teacher. It brought people from many countries and all states of India to my guest house. It gave me exposure to different cultures and countless opportunities to learn new things. Most people who stayed at my guest house became my repeat clients and good friends. When I look back, I feel proud, yet humbled at the thought that I was not only able to fulfill my dream despite all the challenges, but also play a role in establishing tourism in the beautiful valley that I call home. Got it? So now the scenic beauty of Srinagar makes a writer feel nostalgic. That's the correct answer. A collocation of a group of words. Collocation is a group of words that often occur together. So the writer says that GB Valley remained clouded in anonymity. So select the word from the options that correctly collocates with clouded in. So will it be disgusted, anger, doubt, or terror? Yes? Yeah, because disgust means hatred, no way possible. Anger, you already know. Terror, already know. So doubt is okay. So it clouded it. Anonymity means it remained doubtful. Nobody knew whether GB Valley would become a tourist spot or not. Select the option that suitably completes the given dialogue as per the context in paragraph 2. So, father, are you sure that your plan would work? So, writer, I can't say that I would be able to deal with the funding or anything along with those lines as the competition is tough. There was no competition at that time in GB Valley. That because it's a question of profit and loss. I can't understand that because it's a question of profit and loss. Okay, and D option is I'm sure, but I can say that I believe in myself. So when you go for business, as per the context, paragraph 2, you can check your paragraph 2 again. So he had 2 houses, 1 family, 1 traditional. So which we had opened, he asked his father to let the tenant leave so that he could convert it. When my family finally agreed, I renovated the house, keeping its originality just adding windows for sunlight. Yes, third question, it's first option, I would be able to deal with the funding. There is no question of funding in the context. Second is anything along with those lines as the competition is tough. There is nothing, no question of competition also. C option is that because it's a question of profit and loss. So the writer left the job of army and came to this place and started, he opened up his guest house. He renovated and all. And what was he, in the end, what was his purpose? To get something out of it. So it was a question of profit and loss, we can agree. But let's see D option also. I am sure, but I can say that I believe in myself. So here, believing in myself is something else, but when you've left one job and you've started the other thing, then of course, profit and loss more important. So C option is more suitable. Let's see the second part also. But there is a lot of uncertainty, isn't it? So he says, dash father, please, let's do this. So first option, so only we have got C and D option to consider. All's well that ends well. Nothing venture, nothing win. So unless we do it, we won't be able to do it. But because the first option C is better, so then we would go with the C option. Though with the second point, D option is a little better. But even the second option in C is going with it. Okay. So profit and loss is more suitable than just believing in myself. So that's why that C option is stronger than the D option. Okay, now next question is, which signboard would the writer have chosen for his 1992 undertaking in GB Valley? Happy stay or guaranteed comfort or welcome to this or welcome to GB's first tourist home. So what do you think is the best option? Let me ask the participants. Wait. Yes, Pragati, give the answer.
Ma'am, welcome to GB Valley.
You mean which one? Third option?
Ma'am, option number third.
When we go to any hill station, when there are hundreds of hotels, then everywhere it is written like welcome to this hotel or welcome to that. It's written almost everywhere.
Ma'am, fourth option.
Yeah, why fourth option?
Ma'am, because it is the first tourist home
because
in
it was
GB
the
Valley.
very first of its own kind. It was the first tourist home at that place. So welcome to GB's first tourist home. So D option is correct. So here we'll be going for D option, option 4. So you have to take care, like you don't have to take here option 4, you have to go there, like whether option 1, 2, 3, 4. Supposing the writer had given set like A option is option 4, then you people would have ticked A. Okay, you'll get the OMR sheet, and in the OMR sheet you will be ticking the only option. Okay, that will be decided later on whether you get the OMR sheet or not, but be careful about the option as well. Select the option that clearly indicates a situation before and after this. I'm giving you 1 minute, all of you think about, and one child will be asked. Yes. Anmol Singh, roll number 5. Unmute yourself. Give the answer, Anmol Singh. Anmol Singh. Question 5 is that clearly indicates situation before and after 2008. Before 2008, zero tourism in the valley. So when did he open up the hotel? In 1992. Yes, students, find out its answer, think on your own. Question 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do on your own. The sample papers are available at, all CBSE sites. You can download it and keep its printout with you. Is that clear?